about the scions of the canopy?
The tribespeople are very adventurous.
Oh, kinda like us then!
I'm not so sure. You don't strike me as the type to enjoy danger. The scions of the canopy are a bunch of thrill-seekers. They love extreme sports like rock climbing, rappelling, volcano parkour, or even bungee jumping without a rope while a Yunkasaur stands at the edge and uses its tongue to catch them. Sound like something you'd be interested in?
Okay, that does sound different from our usual adventures. Paimon's not doing any of that. She can just cheer you on from the sidelines.
Into the wind! Follow the wind. The wind knows me.
That's Huayna, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Chaska?
Nice to see you again, Huayna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell me why you need it first.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient name and rescue her.
Rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a foolish decision. The nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens, the best thing you can do is focus on how to prevent further casualties.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Huayna. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day. If Kachina's still holding on, then so will I.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Huayna? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete without taking risks. That's always been your mantra.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay? It's not like we have a spare.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts, so we slowly got to know each other that way. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's helped us out a lot in the past.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Waina, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts, and the ancient name you seek is like a tiny fish swimming downstream. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river, but the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman experienced enough to steer it in the right direction.
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone to you.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name, you're gonna want him on the boat.
Bichama? Why does that name sound familiar?
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way, and I'm sure you'll find him.
Thank you. We'll go look for him there.
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
Time to go. Time to go.
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah! That must be him! Hello there! Are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How is that even possible? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a tribal settlement.
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. They must be a genius. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them, so make sure you get a good amount.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible, an ancient name.
Oh, I see. What about the second thing you needed?
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, we'll need a place to store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes, but I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so maybe you can try your luck there.
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you. That means you're trustworthy.
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean much to me anymore. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush. I'll see you in a bit.
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on the preparations for now. Hang on, Kachina. We're coming for you. Hello. Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole stock?
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see. That would be 30,000 mora in total. Deal?
Deal.
Wait, really?
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible. Thanks.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, Roka's the person you want to ask. All right, that's everything. Here you go.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Bichama mentioned.
excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though? We actually need two.
That might be tough. Tell you what, I'll take a look through these boxes over here and we'll see what we can find.
Thank you so much. We'll wait here.
Relax. Everything's going according to plan.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. I hope this chunk of obsidian isn't the only one. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready in a heartbeat.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How does it look?
Perfect! Thank you. How much do I owe you?
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. I'll take 3,000 mora for both. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Vichama just now. You running an errand for him, then? How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now. It's about time he started to move forward.
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night, but I don't know all the details. Vichama and Malco grew up together, and even made a name for themselves together. Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama excelled at scouting and analyzing the battlefield. The two made an excellent team, and managed to beat back the Abyss several times. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage, and were placed on the same team to fight the Abyss. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama suffered an injury to his leg while attempting to rescue someone.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon, and she agreed to let him stay behind. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. The team made an error in judgment, and they fell to the onslaught. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong, but because he wasn't able to do anything at all. I've tried convincing him to move forward, to stop dwelling on the past. But the shadow of Malco's death hangs over him still. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. I wish there was something he could do to make himself feel better, but... anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help him talk things through sometime. I would really appreciate it.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here. When do we start?
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor. Go ahead. After Malko fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malko might also be alive, fighting for survival in the Night Kingdom.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malko and I promised each other, even if we never managed to root out the Abyss for good, we would fight together until the end. All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around the area, please collect them. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The Abyss will likely emerge in response.
Look at that golden thing! It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer! Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone!
Take flight! Sakura swirl! There is no escape!
The wind knows me. Illusion shattered! Into the wind!
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long! We're getting close!
Vichama!
Quick! Take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malko. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is getting stronger.
The Abyss is corroding his body! Vichama, you can't keep going, you'll die!
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong!
This power.
Hanging in there?
Malko. No! Why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Seat Lolly. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the spirit speaker's stone was...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel dizzy for a while, but that's normal.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it in time.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska. We were this close to getting dragged into the explosion.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait, where's Vichama? Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malko's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, but still. And now... it's too late to save him. From the minute he left that day, it was already too late.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama? It looks like something's glowing!
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco. Got any strength left?
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words. Sure.
Too bad. No one will get to hear them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die. It's just... hard. Thinking about my mom's face when she hears the news.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't have to mourn me. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Right to the end, you were never one for goodbyes. Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear our last words. But just in case, Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain? Why?
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking, and his smile was forced. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life, he was thinking the same thing.
Vichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one step closer to danger. But I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life, but not everyone gets the chance to make up for them. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going back. That's something I had to learn in hindsight, but you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so I hope you can walk away without regrets.
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back to us. I'll make sure of it. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep that promise.
That's good to hear. Strange. My body, it's...
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check.
That does make me feel better. You seem very knowledgeable about all this.
Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Wine of the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone. We had no choice, though, so he'll probably understand. Right?
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I don't know what you want from me.
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you two. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for a few minutes. You come with me.
I'll be just a moment.
Who was that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will to live. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the cuckoo sores. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing to everyone.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the Peacemaker. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's no changing it.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. That's what I say. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but You should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire there's absolutely no alternative. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is. And you were just going to sneak into the place without saying anything.
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous. Oh, it's like he didn't even try.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't listen.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my duty to say something.
All right, whatever. Anything else?
What do you mean, anything else? Why don't you reflect on what you've done and promise me you'll stay put?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then, you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault. I can't leave her there to die. That's not who I am.
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you are.
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me worthy of this nation.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his house.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi! Younger sisters are supposed to listen to their elders.
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say? I'm supposed to be your sister.
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have to turn out to be so darn annoying?
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very tone of voice. It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
About that.
If only Tone Gift Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you had no choice. Still, Citlale's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know, or we're asking for trouble. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing comforting about the situation we're facing. Still, all you need to do is focus on your goal. You can leave the complicated matters to me.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate, so much that you have to worry about. But all I could do was focus on—
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, I understand that feeling very well. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down. Follow me.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look. Whoa, that belt is bigger than Paimon's head!
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions and contests of strength. This belt is a symbol of great honor within the tribe. The association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. It was difficult for even two people to lift. And even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time would still leave them gasping for breath.
Sounds like it.
So the owner of the original belt, Kitera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical in appearance, but he would often wear this version when training in order to protect his—
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time.
Make sure to handle everything with care. This
This flower looks like it's thriving.
This fishing basket.
Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have...
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matav. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about in his eyes I saw a hunger and...
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained... Can a fisherman claim victory? If he fails...
Well, Paimon thinks he won't...
That was my answer as well. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go...
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
There are so many jars and
No, those belong to the Masters of the Night Wind. Their ceremony... Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. The tools you see here are quite traditional. The contents of the jars aren't all that special. Oh.
Ooh, must be something really...
Grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although probably expired.
This is a tea...
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rare...
Whoa, this weapon...
Ah, that weapon belonged to Tenoch, a hero from 500 years ago. Strictly, that's because even before the disaster with the Abyss broke...
Exiled?
It was a punishment, imposed out of necessity. But when the Abyss attacked, the tribes found themselves... He united the 6 tribes, and ultimately, he perished. And because he had already lost his ancient... And so, he was laid to rest, alongside the countless
Wow.
Indeed. Even now, his story... The powder still needs some time to settle. So let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah! If each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's really been through a lot. Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future all exist at once.
At once? Paimon's not sure she understands.
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was the most important? Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at a very different destination. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to perceive it. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
That does kinda make sense. The future hasn't happened, but already exists.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future. while the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the Divine Throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the Divine Throne, their inner flame will awaken. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the Divine Throne and the rules. Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes, that's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain sometimes!
It's all right. I'd never get upset over something like that. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? I think about that story a lot, actually. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted many beautiful works of art. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Ian-san, Mulani, Chaska, over here, please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone,
You have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Y-Up is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Y-Up to send me back, but then this really strong monster came and it almost killed me. The Y-Up saved me, even though its power is weakening, so I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds and seeing really horrible things.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you, and that's final. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll get all the applause and recognition you deserve.
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here. And I want to go home. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back ever again.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now. Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just feel bad for creating more work for her.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not. Be careful out there.
Send one, send them all.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advanced civilization?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time, but with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated again.
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy trip to the Night Kingdom.
No. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle from here on out.
Why are you all laughing like that? It's creeping Paimon out.
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in, right guys?
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let anything stand in our way.
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by one. It's much faster to just focus on what's good for you.
Such as?
Vegetable juice. Want some?
You know, Ian-san, Paimon feels like the two of us might not see eye to eye. Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Yeah! Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Whirling... Go!
My apologies.
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
The wind knows me. Water jet!
Take flight. Yeah! Embrace the ice!
Time to go.
My apologies.
Into the wind.
See? Cross over! Take flight!
Bombs away!
Kamisato art! Sumetsu!
Water jet!
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about. The one ripped open by the Abyss.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before she's ready. Hey! You don't have to drag Paimon! You're pulling too hard!
Looks like we made it. This is the Night Kingdom.
It looks so different from what I imagined in the stories.
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first place.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there? Oh, It's so high up. Did we really fall that far down?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out completely unscathed. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light and offer a prayer.
That's it? You really think that little of Paimon? That's not even why Paimon asked!
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this location.
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a link between the two realms.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great either. How are we supposed to find Kachina in these conditions?
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malko. I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power calling out to me. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker Stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, we could have done much more. But we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in danger.
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that, even after all these years, he'd still take such a risk for me. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but it's not too late for you. You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corroded by the Abyss.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Quick, get back here! You can... Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being. We won't be able to keep this up. Let's try another route. This way. Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
My apologies. Embrace the ice.
Oh, Paimon can't see anything!
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind. It was probably just my imagination.
Don't scare Paimon like that!
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
Doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intentions.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
We're here, Kachina!
Honey? You made it!
Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters.
Good idea. Let's go!
Wipe out! Clouds high. The birds come!
This isn't good. Time to go. You're here. You're finally here. Thank you so much. That monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me a bunch of times. The Wyap's power helped keep me hidden, so I just...
Had a girl. You did so well. And most importantly, you weren't hurt.
Should we start heading back then? Actually, I have a request. Will you come visit the Wyap with me? I can't exactly put it into words, but something's wrong with the Ode of Resurrection. And I know it has something to do with the contamination from the Abyss.
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here certainly seems to back it up.
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyap of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wyap. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyap can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyap can extend their consciousness over the entire realm and track down souls no matter where they roam. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't even put a dent in the problem.
Still, we can't just leave the Wyap to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster that's been hunting Kachina. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Kachina? What's wrong?
Nothing. Just a headache. And that voice again, telling me to abandon the Wyap and leave this place. Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been here for too long. No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that nonsense. I can hold on. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you, but that's because you don't have anything to prove either. It's okay.
All right. The sooner we get this done, the...
We've already come all this way, so we might as well try to get to the bottom of this.
Let's go. This way.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself?
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that. I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not so go. Achieve.
Thank you for
You're a true hero. Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that.
I'm back. My friends and I are here to heal you. Wyabb, can you hear me? Wyabb?
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. All right, get ready, everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of futility is pure folly. He tried to get in my way, so I
You killed Malcolm?
He would have dispersed with or without me. You may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate... No. The power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction... I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out that is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing power. Ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas invented to give you a false sense of self-worth. They possess no power at all. The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina...
Kachina, give me your hand. Feel that?
Thanks, Moalani. Because I'm not alone anymore.
You're right. Maybe but you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never...
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? It comes from our friendship. The power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal, and in...
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than two of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but you deserve...
There aren't many in Natlan who can beat us when we're together.
Carving waves! Woohoo! Right here! Get back! Catch an epic wave! Whoosh! Let's ride! Surf's up! Woohoo! Amazing! Right here! Carving waves! Woohoo!
We won! We actually won!
That's what he gets for underestimating you two.
Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely fantastic. This makes me so... unbelievable.
I'm happy too, Moalani. Together we really are unstoppable!
Huh? My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
That was a bold move, diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend, especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption. Still, seeing you pull it off, everything you said was exactly right. As isolated in... It took years' worth of scars and lots of... The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as... Only then will we have the power... Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the...
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully... Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribe...
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, its blaze will become one with our vision, even amid everlasting darkness. Our bonds remain eternal.
What's wrong, Moalani?
So many memories. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of the plan.
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Okay, that should be enough. Why?
I hear your voice, Kachina.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer.
You are already an outstanding.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved. Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like focus on who you want to be. The story of your ancient name is for you to... It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. Go now, my children.
I know we've never met before, Wyab, but I thank you for encouraging Kachina.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time.
It's the power of the Abyss. Quick, we need to run!
It's a Sealy! The Sealy opened the way for us! The opening in the sky! It's closing!
We need to hurry, or we'll be stuck here!
Watch out for the falling rocks!
Quick, through the middle!
Come on, faster! We'll never make it!
You've done well. Now come home.
We're back!
The Pyro Archon saved us.
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used...
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
So you're saying her
Every great display of power comes at a price.
You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just let's get back to the stadium. The pyro...
I recommend getting a full checkup.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem...
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned.
Right. The Wyatt mentioned something about the...
I'll let her explain everything. Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came... Take a seat, everybody. All right, that should do it for now. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the...
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have...
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might just give it time.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh?
No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion.
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, even then, it took centuries of solving the disaster, and still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as immediately after the war. Our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wyatt nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeat. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, but there's still something I don't understand. Those memories...
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a...
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has a god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance.
So, in other words, this is your...
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, The Pyro Archon, the goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wyab would select a hero. The chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old.
So that means...
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero after your adventure in the Night Kingdom. I trust you've come...
So in other words, you always knew who the Wyab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to...
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but if we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. So, I've tried my best to help them from the side. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wyab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny, just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor...
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes...
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder... I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you...
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make... After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk. And in addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored...
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire. On their own, each item's power is limited. But by burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the 2 worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their...
But weren't they all precious tricks?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, and then it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echo... Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's... If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way...
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply... If you still have regrets, let them... Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms...
Well, we'd still like to return...
Well, if that's the case, just now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll...
Still...
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay... All right. You...
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot spring. They attract people from all walks of life. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. It's been really nice seeing the children of my tribe get older. I've witnessed their energy. Even when they cause trouble. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribe, the Abyss, is a cunning enemy. One that my rage will never know. But you came to me because you knew I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will...
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be...
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in...
Who will be the one?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just... It's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the other.
Ah, well, you two had a fight.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful.
That's good.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she's...
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little... Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it...
What? Do you really have to go that far?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this. I appreciate the understanding and don't... Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a...
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to...
I had no choice. My friend...
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. So I stopped when he insisted on repaying the favor. What was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured...
But the fact of the matter is that after your
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to...
So, what about...
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium.
Serves you all.
All right. There's no need to...
Dear friends, firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for help. This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. They've agreed to let me learn from them. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the traveler, and they too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give another...
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming.
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion!
Hey, please don't...
My apologies. Everything comes at a price if you cling too tightly to your... But in any case, I wonder how long before the two final heroes appear. From the Flower Feather Clan and the Masters of the Night Wind.
I've been through so much.
Are you still feeling
Nope, all better now. I bet you guys...
Ah, you're here.
How did you know?
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because the thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, you could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan...
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room.
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my from what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe. Still, it was an impressive achievement, You feel loss keenly. This is a war. And there can be no war without loss. I am already. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes, even if the future ends in destruction. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that this is a pivotal moment. Well, 3 to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but
ancient names can...
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, but possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still, just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation, always.
Yeah, we can't just ignore...
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have... You don't have much time, and...
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out. You heard something from here, didn't you?